Gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by to check today's video out. And I've been wanting to put this video out for a while, guys. I'm going to address the regular comments I get from some viewers out there that say that I'm hypocritical on a couple different issues, primarily tournament fishing and live scope. And I'm sort of going to address that because I really don't think a lot of people know exactly what the term hypocrisy means. So I'm going to clarify that for everybody in today's video. And we're going to dig into that in 1 second here. Also, guys, just a big thank you to everybody out there that's taking time to subscribe to the channel here and use all the links that I put in the descriptions, like my tackle warehouse links and solar baths. I really appreciate you guys giving back something to the channel to support that. So big thank you to everybody that's participating in that. Okay, guys, one of the reoccurring comments that I have for the, ever since I've had the channel is I've got about probably 10% of the viewers out there that regularly call me a hypocrite for two different reasons, basically. The first one is, you guys know that I talk a lot and I'm pretty critical about tournament fishing. I'm critical on the fact that I think there's too many tournaments. I think that I don't think we should have any tournaments during the spawn. I think that tournaments there's no place to have tournaments during the spawn. We should let those fish spawn undisturbed. You guys know my stance on live scope. We've talked about that as far as putting limitations on that in tournaments. So I've been critical of tournament organizations and tournament directors. And inevitably, anytime I do a video like that, say for example about banning tournaments during the spawn, it's like, Randy, you're such a hypocrite. You'll say that they shouldn't have tournaments during the spawn, yet there you are fishing the tournaments during the spawn when they have the tournaments there. Or they'll say something like, Randy, you say there's too many tournaments, then yeah, you've got another tournament you're getting ready to go to. Guys, here's the thing about that. That is not hypocrisy. That's not what hypocrisy means. When I bring attention to an issue regarding, tournament rules, formats, whatever it is like that, I'm trying to draw attention to an issue that needs to be changed for the better. And if you stick your head in the sand, when there's situations in life that come up that aren't right and that cause some injustices and cause some bad problems one way or the other, if you don't bring those to light, you're just enabling that bad behavior to continue. So when I'm talking about, not having tournaments during the spawn, or there's too many tournaments, or, the lake authorities need to scale back on issuing so many permits, I'm trying to affect change for the positive. That doesn't have anything to do with being a hypocrite with that. Because say, for example, you're saying, Randy, just quit fishing tournaments if you don't like it, blah, 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 because you're a hypocrite. You're still fishing the tournaments. Here's my point on it. Most everybody out there who's watching this video has a job. And just because you probably don't agree with everything that your employer does, your boss or employer, there's probably things that you would like to see changed out there. But just because you voice your opposition to like a workplace policy or something like that, that doesn't make you a hypocrite because because you still go into work simply because you don't like a policy. You just want to see change for the better made out there. That's not what hypocrisy is. So you can stop with the calling me a hypocrite just because I fish tournaments and I'm wanting some changes within the tournaments. Same deal with the live scope, guys. Same deal with the live scope technology. You guys know my stance on live scope is world famous by now. I get people from all over the globe sending me comments on it. And the thing about it is, every time I'll have an anti-live scope video, something like that, inevitably I get the same hypocrite comment from the same crowd of dudes out there saying that, oh, Randy, you're such a hypocrite. You use power poles and you use, modern day electronics and spot lock and that type of stuff. Guys, spot lock and power poles are not the same as spotlighting for bass. Just because I have a device that's basically a fancy anchor on the back of my boat is not the same as me being able to see a fish completely around my boat in live imaging in real time and monitor the movements of that fish and see how that fish reacts to my baits as I'm casting it, and me not even ever being able to see that fish if I didn't have that piece of electronic technology. That's not the same as a trolling motor that stays in one spot or a power pole that keeps your boat down. So to call somebody a hypocrite because they use equipment like a power pole or spot lock, and don't use live scope, that again is not what hypocrisy means out there. So anyway, I think a lot of people, they hear buzzwords and they hear key phrases and stuff like that, and they use them without really knowing what that is. But the main thing is I want to bring up here, guys, is do not confuse trying to affect change for the positive as being negative or, hypocritical, because it's not. It's like that's the only way that we make positive changes within the world, is to voice those oppositions out there. Every great decision ever made in this country, like for example, like the Civil Rights Act, if people didn't complain about the injustices that occurred before the Civil Rights Act, we never would have had that positive change. And it's the same with, like improving, the entire sport of bass fishing by having some type of, stiffer regulations on the amount of tournaments when the fish are trying to lay their eggs, or, the exploding technology that's devastating our sport as we speak. That's not hypocrisy. That's trying to make changes for the better. So anyway, just wanted to address that out there, and I wanted to clarify what hypocrisy was for the 10% of my viewers that don't know what it means. And so hopefully you got a little clarity on that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll talk later.